Diamonds in the rough. NFL Draft Diamonds. Time to shine.
Hi, I'm Jimmy Williams with NFL Draft Diamonds, and today I have with me Brady Davis, who's a quarterback out of Illinois State. How's it going, sir?
Hey, how you doing, Jimmy? I appreciate you having me, man.
So, quarterback at Illinois State. Tell me a little bit about your history, man, if you don't mind. Give me a brief summary.
Yeah, absolutely. Grew up down south in northeast Mississippi, kind of in the middle of SEC country. Grew up playing all sports all day, every day. That's what we did down south, and football was the main one. Everybody loves football there. That's football is absolutely the number one thing in the South, and grew up playing it, grew up loving it, and just kind of continued to get better and better, and found my love for the game, and was able to continue to play to this point, and hopefully more in the future.
Gotcha. So, part of your journey has really, been, well, it actually took you to Memphis first, and then eventually there to ISU. So, walk me through that journey just a little bit. About how you got to Memphis, and then ultimately, you transferring there to Illinois State.
Yeah, so I'll go through high school real quick. Started at New Hope High School. Played my freshman, sophomore, and junior year there in Columbus, Mississippi. Didn't have the best football team. Didn't have the best, record. But kind of made a name for myself there in my junior year. I don't know if I made like a state list or not, but had some good stats and started getting some offers going into my senior year. And they fired our coach, and it was kind of, it was like my third coach it would have been. And my mom had just moved to Starkville, Mississippi. So I moved with her and played for Starkville High School for Coach Jamie Mitchell. And, I was quarterback with AJ Brown and Raphael Leonard were my two receivers, and those are some names that people would know, and we were dominant, man. So that kind of moved me on, to college to Memphis, and then spent I guess it would be 3 football seasons there. I redshirted, and I had a year where I was out with the ACL, and then I was a second, third string quarterback there for a season. I guess was my redshirt sophomore year, and I signed with Coach Fuente out of high school, and he moved on right after my first year. And Coach Norvell came in and brought some more quarterbacks, some more guys, and I had the injury and whatnot. So kind of just got lost in the shuffle to some talented dudes. Riley Ferguson, who's one of my best friends, to this day, was a really good player for Memphis there for a couple of years. And after he was done, it was kind of made clear to me that I just wasn't going to be the guy. But I felt really good about the way I was playing and whatnot, and I had gotten back healthy, and I was ready to, find a new school at that point. And obviously with the rule about playing right away, FCS was something I wanted to do. I was getting a lot of advice just to find anywhere to get on the field, go to a D2 school, go to a D3 school. But I'm looking at what's the best FCS school, what's the best conference. And I knew right away I wanted to play either for North Dakota State or whoever plays. I'm like, I want to play in that league because that's like the team everybody knows and stuff. And it's like, I want to play in that league. And I knew about Illinois State because Coach Fuente and them had coached there years ago. And I don't know how I knew that, but like I had heard of Illinois State and whatnot before. So that I had that connection. I was actually able to get, when I got the offer from Illinois State, I was able to reach out to Coach Cornelson, who is the OC at VTech, I would say now. I think he's the OC. And, it kind of all just worked out well with having that connection. And with these coaches, I made a quick little highlight tape from like the spring ball at Memphis leading into my first year at Illinois State. And they were, gracious enough to offer me. I didn't have many offers coming out of Memphis. I hadn't played in 3 years and had the knee injury. I would say North Alabama, I was, strongly considering. It's a lot closer to home, and a really good up-and-coming program. They were moving to the FCS, and really good coaches there. Coach Applin was a guy that, really recruited me hard and really, really cared about me. You could tell, and I actually spoke with him not long ago. He's not at North Alabama anymore, but that was a hard decision. But like I said, I wanted to play in the best league, so I came out to Normal, Illinois, to play in the Missouri Valley, and trying to try to make the best of those opportunities.
Cool. So, if anybody has ever watched Illinois State over the past few years, one thing is apparent. You guys have been able to run the ball down people's throats. With James Robinson, really, like, obviously one of the hugest names coming out of there, really hitting the scene in the NFL right now. went undrafted, which is a crime, should never have happened. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way.
Yeah,
But I mean, he's already lighting things up in the league. I think maybe perhaps what happens though is, with a guy who excelled so much in the running game, that maybe the quarterback and his play just kind of gets put off to the side,
right.
so to speak.
No doubt.
So tell me a little bit about your style of play, maybe what kind of a quarterback you are, and if maybe, I don't know, have you ever tried to compare yourself to somebody in the league? So tell me a little bit about you as a quarterback.
Right. Comparisons, I've heard some, and there's some that you don't really. I think a thing that strikes out about me is arm talent and kind of throwing at different arm angles. And a guy I've always really liked, and he's kind of underrated in my opinion, is Matthew Stafford. He can throw the football with touch, with velocity at a lot of different angles, at a lot of different, platforms. And that's something I really tried to work on kind of a lot of times, like during my ACL rehab this past year, just kind of throwing at awkward angles and just using my arm. And because, especially in the National Football League, I mean, things are chaotic, and it's rare that you get to just cleanly throw a football like all these guys want to coach you to do. So I think I have the ability to really, make some wow throws, as people would say. And I think, my athleticism is a plus. I think I can extend plays and get 5 or 6, 15, 20 yards on a scramble, or, work my way out of the pocket and find somebody downfield. You kind of spoke on the running game that we had at Illinois State, which has been absolutely dominant. And James is the man. It doesn't surprise me one bit whatsoever that he has 1,000 per all-purpose yards in the list. I told I can't remember who I was talking to, but they were just talking about, oh, it's so great. I said, it's just another football season. Like, it's his rookie season. It's just another football season for James Robinson. I promise you, that's how he looks at it. I know him really well, and it's just another football season. But I think a good part of my game, going back to that, is kind of to get James into situations. Last year we had some injuries at the receiver and whatnot. Like you said, we ran the ball a lot. I was able to really get better at reading defenses and going up to the line of scrimmage with multiple plays and finding the right run to get us in. We had always had big packages of different run looks and different, checks and check with me's and kills and whatnot. So I was able to really do that this year. And I think that's something that, you could speak about as me as a quarterback too. With a arm talent and whatnot, I have experience really in a pro style system, and I've really handled a lot. If you would look at the packets that I had going into Saturdays, I handled a lot as far as protections in the run game. So I feel really good about and James, this speaks on James too. He went to Jacksonville and he said it was completely easy to pick up the playbook. And that's, I think that's really what's going to help me as well, because we kind of had that same type of system.
So yeah, I mean, you were just talking a little bit about the scheme that you guys run. I mean, you figure you're probably one of the very few guys taking snaps under center. I mean, more and more guys are just shotgun kind of guys, clapping and taking the ball and running this spread thing, which it all depends on what you get success with. But I mean, obviously, your guys' success has been with a very dominant offensive line, fullback, tight end, just mauling people. And then, of course, having an excellent athlete in James to just kind of take it the distance.
Right.
Again, like you said, 1,000 yards is nothing for him. He could do that in his sleep. So
no, yeah.
Freshman
year of high school. I mean, don't matter when NFL. Right. That's what's gonna happen.
Right. So at the quarterback position, I mean, I feel like a lot of people look at the quarterback position as a leadership position. So go ahead and talk to me a little bit about maybe if you see yourself as a leader on the football field, and if so, just kind of walk me through a little bit your style of being a leader.
Right. Yeah, I would definitely say I am, and it's something that kind of comes natural. I talk a lot. I like to run my mouth. I'm never quiet. I kind of got the ADD thing going on, so I'm always all over the place. And when I'm out on the field, man, I'm just trying to keep everybody fired up and really just yelling and being loud, kind of excessive for no reason, until it's time to focus and I can lock it in. But sometimes somebody's got to smack me in the back of the helmet and say, stop yelling. But I think I just bring a lot of energy. I work really hard with everything we do, if we're running or lifting or practice. I try to always give it my all, and then I'm just always going to be encouraging and kind of just being loud. I think people could attest to that. I'm just real loud all the time and try to keep people engaged and having fun out there, because this game's really fun to me. And when I see people dragging around, are you not having fun like I am? I'll just start yelling at you. So I would definitely say I'm a leader, and there's been some situations that's kind of arose, and that I've kind of had to grow into a more mature leader. I won't speak on it, but like more kind of take it to another side is not being just loud and goofy and encouraging people. And I think as I've gotten older in college and grown up and gotten wiser senior year or whatever, I think I've kind of developed into a good one for our team. Was able to be a captain last year with Luther Kirk, and he was a guy I was able to learn a lot from as well.
Yeah, Luther Kirk is definitely another good one.
No doubt about it.
My next question for you is just kind of walk me through the film room a little bit. I mean, obviously, you got to break down your opponents a little bit. Talk to me maybe about a time where your study in the film room translated to the football field in that regard. So, talk to me about the film room.
Yeah. So we always we would have like a way we would watch it. We would watch blitz on Monday, third downs, first down, P and 10, like start of possessions. I like to break it down in that way. So whether what day it is, I can't too much remember right now. It's been a long time since I've had a football game. I just keep forgetting, like a whole fall just went by. But so I do it that way, and I spend a lot of time in the morning with practice. Like to go up there at night and get filmed during the game season as well. But a time that I can remember a play paying off. We kind of just looking at a personnel. We were looking at 12 personnel cut-ups versus South Dakota State. We kept seeing they were in a 3-by set. They were playing this sink coverage, kind of putting a outside linebacker type on a receiver. And we took advantage of it on the very first play of the game. We lined up in 12 personnel, 3-by-1, 12 personnel. And I saw it right away. That outside linebacker walked outside of my best receiver, probably second best that year, freshman Andrew Edgar. And it was over with, man. It was like a 60 yards in the air and went for an 80-yard bomb for a touchdown on the first play of the game. And that's something that kind of sticks out because we knew we were going to have it. If we would be really surprised if they didn't come out in that defense versus that look. And there's a lot of little things like that. And I could probably think back and remember that we were able to take advantage of something off of that. But that's kind of what film is, man. Finding tendencies and trying to find beaters for them.
So, I mean, obviously you were talking to me about one of those great moments, where you were able to really, deliver on the field against, some stiff competition there, again, in Missouri Valley. Share with me again, maybe one of your most memorable plays, moments, games, what's maybe one of the highlights that really sticks out in your career so far?
Yeah, there's been a few games that really stick out. Last year, I think the South Dakota State win was really good for, just our team and our program. It was a team win. We forced a couple of turnovers on defense, a couple on special teams. I think offense, we were able to punch it in. Our field goal kicker was on automatic that night. It was just a really good win on the road and kind of propelled our team into the playoffs. I got hurt and another running back got hurt. And we kind of had a different look in the playoffs, but I think that win really was kind of what solidified us. We actually took a loss after we got hurt, or we would have been a seed. But that was a real big win for our program. And then taking it back to my first year, kind of a moment I remember, we played St. Xavier first week, and that they played hard and good for me. It kind of didn't really feel like a first game for me, to be honest. Kind of felt like a scrimmage. I played like half the game, and they got the other guy in and stuff like that. So the second week we played Eastern, our rival. And I started out kind of shaky. It was packed, and it was really my first start. And I was like 0 for 3 at the time. I just skipped the ball to Spencer Schnell. And I skipped the ball to him, and he came back in the huddle. He, like, hit me in the chest. Was like, you got to come on, man. And I was like, oh, he was mad. The little guy was mad at me. So I went on to, like, maybe not even throw another incompletion. I can't remember. It was a real good day for us through the air. I think I ended up 18 for 24 or something for a lot of yards and a lot of touchdowns, and we got a big win. So that was a memorable one for me, kind of just my first real game, it felt like, and kind of being real dominant versus a rival. And then it was really fun going to Fort Collins, Colorado, and we smoked them, man. We beat them real bad, and that was a fun one I always remember.
Yeah, it's always great to be able to show those FBS guys that you guys.
It was.
Really...
They didn't stand a chance. I mean, we beat on them bad. It was funny. It was fun. We lost. We kind of lost it. Lost it towards the end of the year. Went on a losing streak, but we thought we were something after that win for sure. We were young though.
Cool. So talk to me a little bit about you. Outside of football. I mean, what kind of a guy are you off the field? Obviously, first and foremost, you're a student there. So tell me a little bit about you as a student, and then just anything that you wish to share about yourself in this video.
Yeah, I'm a student. I've graduated, so now I've kind of I elected not to go into grad school because I was rehabbing my ACL, so I'm kind of just coasting along to maintain eligibility right now. So I do got the degree in hand, a recreation management degree here from Illinois State. So that's something, everybody, if you accomplish that in life, you've done something. That's something I'm grateful for. Obviously, this game kind of gave that to me. But other than that, I'm just a relaxed guy. I'm always, watching whatever game's on or hanging out with the friends, playing a video game. I got 2 Huskies. I got a wife, so me and my wife are always doing stuff. And I got my Huskies. We're taking on walks and taking to the park and playing with and whatnot. So really just hanging out. Other than that, I spend a lot of time, studying the game or lifting weights or practicing. And other than that, I like to just relax and then spend time with friends and family and my dogs and my wife.
Cool. So, I mean, usually around this time in the interview, I just kind of give you the floor to, maybe give some shout outs and some love to some people that have really helped you along the way. So whether it be, family coaches, teammates, or whoever, go ahead and give your shout outs to whoever you like.
All right, we'll get it going. Mom, Dad, Michaela, my wife, my grandparents, both sides. I'm fortunate to have them, and man, they've been so supportive of my life. So shout out to them, love them. My brother Brandon, my cousins Chase and Chandler. Man, you start talking about coaches, man. Got to thank Coach Spack first, the man with the mustache. He's been great to me. He's been great to my family. I think Coach Norvell. I think Coach Fuente. I think a lot of guys, man. I think every brother I've ever played with, everybody I played against, man. I think everybody. I appreciate guys like you. I can thank the world, man. I really do, because I'm so happy and humble, and I've had a lot of good people that's helped me in this industry and helped me in this game, and I know they will continue as I move on in life, because I don't plan on going anywhere. I'll coach one day, and that's when I look forward to rekindling some of these connections and really. Thank you to all them, man. Thank you to everybody at Illinois State, all my coaches, all the people here, because y'all. I didn't get to play at Memphis. I got to achieve my dream here. I got my degree from here and whatnot. So this is a place that I don't know. I can almost guarantee you I will never live in Illinois. Like after this, maybe if the Bears want to give me a job, I'll happily live in Illinois. But I love Illinois State, and this will always be second home. I'm just going to come visit and get out.
Cool. So, Brady, I always ask guys this question, and it's really just the why question. So, tell me why you play football.
Yeah, I think I just love sports. Football is a huge thing down in the South where I grew up, and kind of SEC country. I think I've said that maybe already, but I just kind of grew up playing football, and I began being a quarterback kind of in middle school. And I think that's when I really was like, okay, this is fun. Like I completely control this. I'm running, I'm throwing, I'm doing everything. So that's when I really kind of probably picked football over other sports, so to say. And then, I got to play as a freshman in a pretty big division and, made some noise. And I think people started kind of noticing my talent at a young age and telling me you could get a degree, a college degree and play at the next level in this. So then I really started focusing and quit basketball for a year, got back to playing it and whatnot. But football was always it for me. And luckily I got to where I am. I definitely could have worked harder in high school and whatnot, but luckily I got here to where I am now and, hopefully can make this thing a job here soon.
Great. And very last thing for you, bud, is just give me your pitch to a professional team, man. Why should they give you a chance, sign you, bring you into their team? What kind of a teammate would they be getting?
Yeah, they'd be getting a guy that works really hard with everything, man. With anything that was asked of me, I would work really hard. I would go above and beyond. I would obviously help the starter, help anybody that I can, as far as film breakdown, all that. I love every bit of this game. So you're gonna get a guy that's gonna work diligently in everything that he does. And I think that as far as a player, I think I got a lot of arm talent. I think I got a lot of room to grow. I think I can make all the throws, and I think if I, clean up some things and continue to develop, I could really play at this level, not just be at this level. You know what I mean? So I think, I think if somebody does give me that opportunity, they'll get a guy that's going to work his tail off and be a good person in the community and whatnot, and do everything he can to be the best player. Be very prepared.
Yeah, I mean, I think that if people, try and watch you play, I mean, hopefully they do see that arm talent. I mean, obviously a lot of guys that turn on Illinois State tape, I mean, they're loving that offensive line. I mean, they're loving the run game and stuff. But I mean, you do get your opportunity out there to showcase your arm talent.
For sure.
Unfortunately, obviously over the years, you've had to struggle through some injuries and such. I know you're healthy now. I mean, you're trying, to get yourself to that next level. So, I mean, at the very least, I mean, you got some arm talent there to work with. I mean, I know on my board you are one of the top, small school quarterbacks.
Right.
Hopefully somebody gives you a chance, man, because I mean, really, you kind of need to go out there and show them that that you got some.
Yeah, I think so, and I've been through it kind of, especially in the last year with injuries and whatnot. And I believe that I will get that chance and can make the most of it. And I look forward to what it takes, doing whatever it takes to get that opportunity.
Cool, no doubt. Well, you'll definitely get your opportunity, I believe.
Thank you, sir. I appreciate you. Appreciate you for all you do for us, for sure.
Sure. Thanks again, Brady. Again, this is Brady Davis, quarterback, Illinois State. Check him out.
Yes, sir. Thank you, Jimmy. You have a good one, man.